raise that recognition that you don't always have to have the perfect response or need that kind of input for those young people.
Get Radio Breakfast with Rich Smith.
We're super excited. We launched Oxfordshire's Mind Winter Appeal, chatting to Mackenzie earlier on in the week, and we're going to be finding out a little bit more about it. Really pleased this morning to be joined by Olivia Thomas, a children and young persons wellbeing worker at Oxfordshire Mind. Olivia, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
No worries at all. No worries. In terms of being on the front line and the job that you do, how important is Oxfordshire Mind's winter appeal, the festive fears?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's super important. What we're seeing is a very high increase in referrals in terms of what we're experiencing, because there's that recognition that there are a lot of young people experiencing mental health concerns, and we're aware that being on a waiting list can obviously impact that, and they develop from as young as the age of 15, if not even less. And luckily we are a service that supports young people from the ages of 7 to 17. Definitely being able to recognise that actually for a lot of parents it's providing that support to them as well, recognising that they have that support for their young people and what they can do in the meantime to be able to access that. So we're not saying that we are a service that can change or fix everything, but we are that necessarily kind of the immediate support that could be offered, or that recognition that someone is there to listen to them, and just help direct and highlight as to what they can do or where they can go to be able to receive that.
And it's always wonderful having that safety net of Oxfordshire Mind, behind parents, but behind young people as well, to be there for when it's potentially needed. And when chatting to Mackenzie a bit earlier on in the week, we stumbled across a situation where we were going into Christmas, and Christmas is inherently, filled with joy. I'm doing inverted commas for the people that can't see on the radio, of course, but it is joyful. It's presents. It's watching films around the fire, but it's the forgotten about side of things. It's the pressure of the time of year. It's the bombardment of questions. It's the seeing many relatives and many social situations. And I guess from what you've seen and heard is that the children, that is a pressure on them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think, around this time, everyone loves Christmas and the idea of kind of being surrounded by people. But actually, for a lot of the young people and the families that we support, because they find the questions too overwhelming of, how have you been? What have you been up to? It's that worry of, am I going to upset someone if I respond to them in a certain way? Or what do I say? Or if I'm not doing well, can I share that information with them? And I guess that we're just there to, help them talk through that. Can we prepare them? Can we provide them with scripts? Raise that recognition that you don't always have to have the perfect response or need that kind of input for those young people. And I think it's also that recognition as well, the clocks have gone back, that it's getting darker in the evenings. That's definitely something that's going to be impacting a lot of our young people at the moment, particularly around Christmas time, but especially for the younger ones. It's that pressure surrounding mocks are coming. We're getting closer to having to knuckle down or, decide where I need to be or where I'm going to go. And again, that recognition that a lot of people assume this time of year is for family, but we do also understand that there are a lot of young people who have experienced grief or loss, and needing to be those people to help support them through that, or how they can manage that during this period of time.
Now you've mentioned things that many people will have gone through in life, self-included, with grieving, with exams and pressure. I'm of a certain age where things like social media weren't around. They did not exist. I mean, the internet came in when I was at school. I mean, that's how long ago it was. That side of things is an added pressure, because you're not just getting those questions coming from the people that see you. You're also getting that outside pressure that certainly from my point of view, I'm not a parent, but I struggle to understand social media in the best of ways. And that's something that I think us adults, and you sort of tarnish people with the same sort of brush, a similar sort of age and what have you to myself, maybe forget about.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think parents are becoming more aware of the social media use because they're seeing the impact of young people spending a lot of time on
Mm.
their phones. And for some young people, that is a coping mechanism. I guess from a different bracket, it may be that perspective of, well, this was never something for us when we were younger. So I don't see the fascination with it or how that could cause an impact. But as you've said, there are lots of questions that come from it. There can elicit those feelings of loneliness. I'm seeing everyone socializing with people and I'm at home. Um, it is just about finding the balance. Obviously, we're not here to say to our young people or their families, please restrict their use on social media, but just about raising those boundaries and that awareness about what could come from that, whether that be online safety or, as I've already said, that elicited feeling of loneliness. Am I comparing myself to other people?
And obviously, again, chatting to Mackenzie as well, we know that this campaign is born out of what young people want. This is what is this what you're hearing on a day to day, but certainly around the sort of Christmas area, is this what you're hearing on a day to day basis?
Yeah, definitely. We always take on board the young people and their families' feedback and start thinking about actually what is it that we can do at this point in time to be able to support you. We're very much aware of there being certain time constraints around the year where the increased pressure builds, and especially this time of year is definitely one of those. We're really active as a team at Oxfordshire Mind in terms of taking on board that young person's feedback. So what we have been able to do following kind of our team meetings and everything else that's included is actually develop new resources that help support some of these feelings and behaviours that are going on for them at the moment.
No, that's brilliant. You paint such a wonderful picture of why this is happening, and I just want to, Olivia, just get um, if people are listening to the bits and bobs that we're doing here on Get Radio, if they're seeing your messages out at various different places from the Westgate Centre and across social media, of course, on your channels and what have you. If people are looking at that, what kind of reaction do you want? Is it someone just bearing in mind? Is it thinking about it? What's the we're getting you out there. What can we do to kind of help and amplify? What do you want to see happen?
I think it's more just about raising awareness. For a lot of people, it's a case of this isn't really occurring for me right now, but it could be at a certain point in time. And it's that recognition of, oh, I'm aware that they're there. I may need them at some point, and let's kind of keep that or speak about that to other people. Raising that awareness. Have other people used it? How did they benefit from that? Those types of things.
No, brilliant, and that's amazing. It's a wonderful campaign. I wish you the best of luck with it. We're really, really grateful that we can be partnered up with you and share stories and messages from people like yourself who are seeing this on a day-to-day basis. Olivia, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.